Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Cheryl Coker. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Cheryl Lynn Coker was born on April 24, 1972, and lived in Riverside, Ohio. This is 4 miles east of Dayton. She was raised by her parents, Edward and Mary Carroll. Cheryl graduated from high school in 1990 and started working for General Motors. She married, had a daughter named Marissa, and divorced. In July 1999, Cheryl married for a second time. Her husband was a coworker named William Coker, who went by the name Bill. After the wedding, Bill adopted Cheryl's daughter Marissa. Later, Cheryl and Bill had a daughter together named Michaela. In 2005, the family bought a 2,000-square-foot, 3-bedroom house at 5146 Christie Avenue for $117,000. In 2006, Cheryl suspected that Bill was being unfaithful. She found that he had a second phone, which he allegedly used for cheating. She confronted him, and the pair reconciled. According to people who knew Cheryl, she and Bill became swingers not long after this. In April 2018, Bill had an affair with a coworker named Aaron. According to Cheryl's friends, she confronted Bill and said that she would divorce him if the affair continued. Bill agreed to end the affair, but not even an hour later, Cheryl discovered that he had sent Aaron a text message saying, "I can't wait to spend the rest of our life together." On September 21, 2018, Cheryl Coker filed for divorce. Bill was served with the papers 3 days later. During a text message exchange between Cheryl and her coworkers on September 24, she indicated that Bill wasn't too happy about the divorce. She wrote, "I think he just got served today because I just got this text from him. Thanks for putting the nail in my coffin." Cheryl also wrote, "So I will be in tomorrow if I'm not dead." Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On Wednesday, October 3, 2018, Cheryl Coker was reported missing by her sister Margie. Nobody had heard from Cheryl since the morning of Tuesday, October 2. Here is what the police found during the course of their investigation. Cheryl dropped her daughter Michaela off at Stebbins High School on Tuesday, October 2 at 7:30 a.m. After this, Cheryl returned to her home on Christie Avenue, arriving at 7:35 a.m. She made a few posts on Facebook until about 7:45 a.m. After that, there was no more activity. Cheryl was not seen or heard from since. On Wednesday, October 3, the same day Cheryl was reported missing, family members tracked her cell phone, which led them to her 2016 Toyota Highlander. The vehicle was in the parking lot of a Kroger supermarket on Spinning Road. The distance between Cheryl's house and the supermarket was 0.6 miles. Cheryl's cell phone, purse, credit card, and identification were locked inside her Toyota. The police interviewed Bill a few times. Bill said that he did not even know his wife was missing until the police contacted him. He told the police that he was getting a divorce. He had a girlfriend, and his wife had a boyfriend. As far as what happened on Tuesday, October 2, Bill said that he woke up around 8 a.m. At Cheryl's request, he attempted to jumpstart her work vehicle, which was different than her Toyota Highlander. Bill was unsuccessful. He could not get the vehicle started. He went back inside the house and discovered that Cheryl was in the shower. Through a closed door, he told Cheryl that he was unable to jumpstart the vehicle. She never responded. Bill only heard the sound of water running. He never actually saw Cheryl that morning at all. He went back to bed and woke up at around 11 a.m. or noon. After the police discovered that he made a phone call at 10:47 a.m., Bill changed his story and said that he woke up sometime around 10:30 a.m. The police obtained surveillance video that covered the Kroger supermarket parking lot. On Tuesday, October 2, Cheryl's Toyota can be seen arriving at 10:52 a.m. A person in a hoodie and wearing all black exited her vehicle and walked away. This was an unseasonably warm day, so the choice of apparel was unusual. The police could not identify the person from the video, but it did not appear to be Cheryl. The person was probably a man. 21 minutes later, at 11:13 a.m., a concerned citizen called 911 and reported a suspicious man dressed in black at the intersection of Utopia Place in Mundy Court. This is just 750 feet from Cheryl's house. The caller said that the man hid his face with his hand and was walking toward Spinning Hills Middle School. This school was right behind Cheryl's house. The police examined video surveillance from other locations in the area, but the mysterious man was not captured walking away from the neighborhood. They believe the man jumped over a fence and entered Cheryl's house. In February 2019, after the police interviewed Bill for the last time, they declared that the disappearance of Cheryl Coker was no longer a missing person case. It was a homicide case. Bill Coker was officially named a suspect. He was the one and only suspect. On April 25, 2020, the skeletal remains of Cheryl Coker were found in a remote wooded area by a mushroom hunter. This morbid discovery was made in Cedar Creek Township in Greene County, Ohio, which is about 15 minutes from Cheryl's house in Riverside. An autopsy revealed no evidence of trauma. However, the cause of death was declared to be homicidal violence. Clearly, Cheryl's body was dumped in the wooded area to conceal her death. There is no doubt that Cheryl Coker was the victim of homicide. Even so, no arrests have been made in connection with her murder. The police department presented their case to the prosecutor's office looking for charges against Bill Coker, but the prosecutors indicated there is insufficient evidence to proceed. Now moving to my analysis. Bill Coker maintains his innocence. He denied harming his wife, saying, quote, "I've never in my entire life hurt anyone," unquote. Many residents of Riverside, Ohio, are furious that the prosecutor's office did not charge Bill. These residents, along with the police, think it is pretty obvious that he is the killer. This brings me to the question, is Bill guilty of murder? Let's take a look at the evidence, both for and against the idea that he was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. In the time leading up to Cheryl's disappearance, her relationship with Bill was tumultuous. Both Cheryl and Bill were having affairs. Cheryl filed for divorce less than 2 weeks before she went missing. She wanted custody of her daughter and alimony from Bill, which could be a motive for murder. Bill told the police that he and his wife had an open marriage and that she had no problems with him dating his coworker Aaron. Neighbors had a different understanding of the situation, saying that Cheryl was devastated that Bill was cheating. Furthermore, right before Cheryl disappeared, Bill took a trip to Florida with his daughter and his lover Aaron. He deliberately concealed the fact that Aaron was there from Cheryl. If Bill had permission to be dating Aaron, why would he lie to his wife? On Tuesday, October 2, 2018, when Cheryl arrived home after dropping her daughter off at school, Bill was in the house. Cheryl's social media activity stopped around 7:45 a.m. At 9:13 a.m., her Fitbit recorded that her heartbeat changed to 0. It is likely this is when she was murdered. At around the same time, a neighbor heard a woman screaming. The screams were coming from the Coker residence. Cheryl's Toyota Highlander was driven to a nearby parking lot and left there by a man who was trying to conceal his identity. This man walked to Cheryl's house after dropping the vehicle off. On the same day, October 2, at 8 p.m., Bill was captured on video at the Kroger store. He was wearing all black. As he exited the store 3 minutes later, an injury could be seen on his arm. During an interview with the police, Bill said that he hit his arm against a brick wall while mowing grass. Officers noticed that Bill's hand was swollen as well. He claimed that he injured it on a forklift at his job. On October 6, 2018, 4 days after his wife disappeared, Bill told the police that $4,000 in cash was missing from a box in a closet. The implication here is that Cheryl took this money to run away. However, Cheryl's remains were later found. Was Bill lying about the cash being missing? Moving to the exculpatory factors, there is no physical evidence connecting Bill to the murder. No DNA, no fingerprints, no blood, nothing at all. There were no witnesses to the murder. There is no video. Cheryl's cause of death was never determined. It's not clear how she died. The police interviewed Bill's lover, Aaron. She claimed that Cheryl told her it was acceptable for her to date Bill. This makes it seem like Cheryl was okay with this relationship. Cheryl was romantically active at the time of her death and had engaged in swinging activity. Maybe one of her lovers became angry with her and killed her. When considering all the evidence in this case, Do I think that Bill Coker is guilty of murder? In my opinion, he is guilty in reality. The evidence supports the conclusion that he was in the house when Cheryl died. If he did not kill her, who did? Bill would have people believe that a mysterious man entered his house, killed his wife without making too much noise, disposed of her body, parked her vehicle at a nearby supermarket, then walked back to her house. This takes care of what I think happened in reality, but what about the standard of beyond a reasonable doubt? Do I believe that Bill is guilty according to the legal standard? This standard is a lot higher than the balance of probabilities. In my opinion, this case glides on a razor's edge between innocence and guilt as far as the legal standard. It would be helpful if there was one more piece of evidence pointing toward Bill. I can understand why the state is hesitant to file charges. Could they get a conviction with the evidence they have now? Probably. But they only get one shot due to double jeopardy, so they want to maximize their chances of success. As the case stands now, in my opinion, Bill is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The man who dropped off the Toyota was almost certainly the killer, and that man walked to Cheryl's house. Bill is the only person who would have a reason to do that. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Cheryl and Bill had a good marriage for a while, but then Bill developed an interest in having sex with other women. Cheryl did not want to lose her husband, so she became a swinger. Nothing says rebuilding the trust better than transforming one's marriage into the set of a low-budget adult film. This arrangement allowed Bill to have sex with various women, but gave Cheryl peace of mind that she would remain his primary love interest. The couple even developed a rule about not falling in love with other people. Cheryl believed this rule fully protected her against her husband cheating. One thing was for certain: Bill would never become attracted to someone else and want to spend the rest of his life with that person. Right after this, Bill became attracted to his coworker Erin and wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. There was nothing Cheryl could do to change his mind. She made it clear to Bill that she intended to divorce him. This idea didn't sound too good to Bill. He was not interested in divorce because he did not want to divide his assets or pay alimony. He believed that he and Cheryl should stay together for a while longer, but Cheryl wasn't having it and filed for divorce anyway. On Tuesday, October 2, 2018, Bill murdered Cheryl, disposed of her body in a wooded area, left her vehicle at a nearby parking lot, and walked home. He was not sophisticated. This was not some complex murder plot. Bill was extremely fortunate that he managed not to leave behind a lot of evidence. The state refused to file charges, but they could change their mind at any time. Any development could result in Bill being charged. For example, a new piece of evidence or a different prosecutor taking over. Bill lives with a sort of Damocles dangling above his head. Those are my thoughts on the case of Cheryl Coker. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.